Hi everyone, happy Monday. I'm going over our Working with Toddlers series. This is episode number 3. So here we go. Today is going to be water play. I know that's a big one for providers during the summertime, and that also can be one of the most exhausting activities, including winter season when you get everybody dressed to go out and play in the snow. I always hear how tiring that is and exhausting. It's a fun activity for the kids, but a lot on the providers. So here's something that might help you. I do work with toddlers. I am licensed from birth to 18 years, but I prefer doing just the toddler age. So that's what I have in my group, and it can be up to 6 kids. And I know water play is a lot of fun, but you got the setup, you got the tear down, you got getting them dressed, undressed, and it's a lot. So here's some tips on that to help. So the biggest one too is just having the parents be as prepared as possible for this day. So my monthly newsletter, weekly newsletter really helps, and letting them know this is what's happening, what you need to bring. So I now, in the last few years, have my kids come in their bathing suits. So they can wear, like the boys wear their swim trunks, t-shirt, and they come, and then they have a bag. The bag has a towel in it, and if they need underwear, or if a parent just prefers to put the change of clothes in there, they can. I always have backup clothes for the kids here that they bring, that they just keep for any accidents or if they get overly dirty, but we don't use those anymore for the water play. I keep those separate. This way I'm not having to chase down getting more clothes for that, because sometimes people are really good at bringing items and other times it's just not their thing, and it takes a while for them to bring those backup clothes. So have them either wear it over their bathing suit or have them bring backup clothes that day. And then I also have them bring a towel now. That saves us from having to wash a bunch of laundry too. So they're bringing their own towel. They sunscreen prior to drop off, and then I just reapply as needed. So with that, you're eliminating getting them dressed. The only downfall with that is potty breaks, especially if the girls have like the one piece bathing suits, can be a little tricky, but for the most part, I haven't found that that's a challenge. It's just great that they're ready to go when they come. And with the summer heat, I'd rather have them out in the morning than have them out in the dead heat of the afternoon doing their water activities. So that's also a bonus too, is you can just get that water activity going in the morning, and that's helpful. Tip number 2, don't overwhelm yourself, especially if you're a newer provider trying to get all these things figured out on what works best. Don't make your water activities gigantic. Don't set it up to be some big giant event that you just burn yourself out, especially if you're a solo provider and you don't have anybody to help you. That can become very exhausting in the summertime. So plan ahead on what works well for you. I rotate my activities when it comes to water play. So we'll do like one big water activity they need bathing suits for, and then I go to the next water activity that I plan, and it's a smaller one, like mini water tables, where they don't really need to be in bathing suits. And worst case scenario, if somebody gets a little too wet, you have your backup clothes to change them into. But those events are not as overwhelming and exhausting as the big water events. And the kids love them equally. It doesn't matter whether it's a big water slide to go down in your backyard or a little pool set up if you're allowed little pools, versus them playing with mini water tables with a bunch of figurines or Barbie dolls or whatever you put in them. They love it equally, so it's not going to affect them in any way, but it's giving you some peace of mind that you're not going to exhaust yourself all summer long. So another one I did too was we had them wear their paint smocks, and I put some big paint papers out on a stand out in the backyard, and then we took some spray bottles, mixed it with water and paint, and they got to spray pictures with that water and paint too. So you can do a lot of activities that are water related, but not necessarily these big water events all the time. And then, like I said, rotate it. Do one big water event that has all that set up and cleanup that takes time, and then do the next one as a smaller water activity. They're gonna love it either way. I think in the almost 14 years that I've done this, I've only had one child that I can remember that just was not into water, and that's fine. Just have alternative activities if you do have a kid that is either fearful of water or just doesn't care for the water activities. But vast majority will love whatever effort you put into it, whether you're doing a smaller event or a bigger event. The other thing is, don't be afraid to ask for help. I'm a solo provider. I'm on my own vast majority of the day, and till the end of the day, my husband and kids come home when it's like the school year, and they try to pitch in and help that last hour to hour and a half. But plan maybe where you can have some help. So if you want to do one of those bigger water events, see if you have a friend or family member that maybe can come and volunteer and help out for the day. That can make all the difference. We're all individuals. We all, get stressed in different ways. So what works for one may not work for another provider. So do what is going to work best for you, that you're not getting yourself burnt out. If you have kids at home that are old enough to help your own children, get them involved, help them set up the water table or tear down the water tables at the end of the day. Use that help so it's not so exhausting for you. So I hope those help. Water activities, I love them, but I totally understand when I see providers saying how burnt out they are from doing these water activities, and looking for tips on how to make it better and just not so hard on them, but keeping that fun for the kids. So hopefully those two help with getting their bathing suits on before they come into care, and then also not making all your water events such big party events too. That will help as well if you kind of switch it up to something small, then something big, and back and forth until your summer activities are over and you're into fall season. All right, guys, have an awesome Monday, and I will catch you later.